Most of the left do not even know what they are fighting for, nor do they even realize what the left represents, nor what the left's actual goals are. They are simply protesting Trump, whether to fit in and appear cool with their peers, or out of pure brainwashing, where they simply follow along with the twists, lies, and one sided reporting that they exclusively open themselves up to, living in their own echo chambers. What I have found since talking to more and more of the people in New York City, especially the young people that I have been speaking to, it is they have no idea that the left actually represents bigger government and more government regulations to control the populace, while the right fundamentally argues for individual liberty, where individual freedoms reign supreme. They are not understanding that while the right stands for people to control the government, that the left stands for the government to control the people. Sadly, most people these days have never even thought their positions through. Yet, they get so worked up in their rhetoric, they have put themselves in a box. They now cannot admit to themselves or others that they have been wrong. This is the main reason that even after 2 years of the left and the mainstream media being consistently wrong, they cannot or will not simply take a step back and look at the big picture. What does give me promise, though, is in talking these fundamental facts out with a lot of people that say they support the left, especially the young. When they stop letting their feelings interfere, they actually understand and respect that the right and individual freedoms was what this country was set up, settled, and grew upon. Moreover, when I get to explain that it has been America that has invented practically everything, not only since our inception, but literally since the fall of the Roman Empire. And I explain how it is capitalism which has funded these discoveries, and that no socialist country has really invented anything at all that has pushed humankind forward. It shocks them into reality. Most of them at first do not believe it. But then I simply ask them to name a country outside of America that has come up with a truly innovative technology that has pushed humankind forward. I remind them that at the fall of the Roman Empire, humans operated on animal power, where animals powered not only transportation, but animals powered communication, animals powered agriculture, and that was the same technology which existed 1,300 years later when America was formed. I pointed out that yes, 1,300 years pass in between the time of the Roman Empire and the time that America was invented, where for the first time in history, people actually told the government what to do, as opposed to all nations that existed at the time, where the government directly controlled the people. And in the 300 short years since America was founded, humans have gone from this animal-powered technology to cars and airplanes and space travel to phones and radio, computers, the internet. Now, instant worldwide satellite communications, and where tractors and genetically modified foods grow our crops, and it now makes it possible to feed the world. It has been the fact that individual freedoms and the genius of America, where people control their own government and destinies, and the introduction of capitalism that has brought all of these things forward, finally starts to sink in. The sad reality is that for many of these young people I speak to, nobody has ever explained this to them. That the schools in America have literally been taken over by our globalist enemies. And they downplay America's positive role in all of the technological innovations that had literally brought the world out of the dark ages. To most of these young adults, they've only heard about the negative aspects of American history. They've never even been told about the positive additions that the American way has brought forth. They have never had both sides of the American genius brought to them. It is unfortunate that the schools in America have truly become like the mainstream media here, where they only provide the one side of the story that pushes the narrative that they want to push, and that is that America has been pushing civilization down. Not the truth of history, where it has been America which actually has lifted civilization up from the technological rut of 1,500 years of no true technological advancement without us. The great news is, though, that when the truth finally breaks through and these young people actually realize what I'm telling them is the truth, they seem to get it, and their whole attitude changes. I have had a lot of people simply walk away from me during conversations, and I know it is because they simply refuse to admit to themselves that they have been and are completely wrong. It is one of the hardest things for human beings to do, to admit that they are wrong, especially when most of them have invested so much emotion into their wrong stance. But the good news is that some stay and hear my complete argument out, and those that do actually start to see the world differently. And I have actually experienced people coming up to me at a later date and tell me that they now see things differently, that they see that the media is one-sided and biased. They see how the left is always calling for bigger, more intrusive government. And that is that the libertarian argument for individual freedoms and less government control is the right way to go. No pun intended on the right way to go. I know it is frustrating, and I know that it is hard, but I want to say to all my fellow American first brothers and sisters, we are making a difference. We are curing the ignorance and brainwashing of the left. It may be slow, but it is steady, and we have facts on our side. So keep fighting the good fight, and remember, we will win. Because, for lack of a better analogy, we are like the undead zombies in the Walking Dead show. Our numbers just keep growing. And once a person comes over to our side and we break the brainwashing that they had suffered, they never go back. Remember, we are not enemies with the ignorance of the left. We are their saviors. And keep up the good fight. One at a time, we will win. We are not the black, the white, the red, the yellow, and the brown America. We are the United States of America, and together we are strong, and it is together we are free. It has been together that we have changed the history of the world, and it will be together that we not only hold our own destiny, but the destiny of the entire world.